There's a serious discord between what the top players are actually doing and what the teaching pros, magazines, and commentators are seeing, saying, and teaching. And therein lies the problem. They're explaining to you what they observe in the effects without understanding the causes. And I'm here to tell you in no uncertain terms that it's not what you see, but it's what you don't see that really matters out there on the court. Form and technique are still what separates players of similar athletic abilities. So now everyone is talking about angular momentum on the forehand, and that you simply line up, open stance, and bend the outside knee, loading up and swiping across the ball with a windshield wiper. Well, that may be what it looks like at a glance, but there's a lot more going on. What they're not seeing is the progression of the stroke in its entirety. That is the essence of the stroke. They don't see the very minute nuances emanating from the center of the body, rippling out to the racket head. And they're not seeing it because they're not looking for it. And they're not looking for it because they don't know that there's an actual science that exists that directly relates to this type of nonlinear motion. The tennis world would have you believe that player development is merely a matter of drills, fitness, and rote repetition in order to memorize a series of shots fed from a basket. I'm sure many of you already know this doesn't always pan out, certainly not in the long run, and frankly, it's mindless and it takes too long. But if you're 3 or 4 years old and have some time to burn, go ahead. But rather than waste a lot of time memorizing shots, we've taken a more educated approach to the game. Not only does it take less time to improve, but ours is guaranteed. And you don't get worse before you get better. Learn rather than memorize. Our students all say it's our method that makes the game more interesting, satisfying, and fun, especially since it's more fun to win. And remember one thing, if you have a bad habit, drilling will only serve to further ingrain that habit. We don't memorize the game, we own it. We understand the relationship and connection between our hips, shoulders, and arms, and how it all ripples out to the racket head precisely at the optimal contact point. There's no trial and error, no guesswork, so our players improve immediately and continuously. We've uncovered geometric formulas that fully explain the curling of a wave, the rippling of a wind-blown flag, and the cracking of a whip. And it's this very same geometry that also fully explains the form of the best players in the game. So our elite group of players and coaches think and play like scientists, and we execute like artists. You can always rely on our fundamentals, as they are mathematical truths and not opinions. If you are willing to be open to a few new concepts and perceptions, every stroke in the game will be readily attainable. The goal is not only to enlighten players to a science, but to also awaken within them a champion's consciousness, so they'll play in the zone the majority of the time. The common knowledge in today's tennis world is archaic. Move your feet, load up, windshield wiper follow through, angular momentum, come on! These are all tips and basically cheerleading from the dark ages and will soon go the way of the VCR. Tips and cheerleading don't make players. Talent is the main ingredient. And we have a proven system to bring out all of the potential talent in every student. I'm here to completely retool players and coaches alike so they'll play with real confidence because they know exactly how to execute when they need it the most. Better understanding and better coaching will be what reignites and improves American tennis at every level. There's a new user-friendly operating system, and it's a 6.0. Are you ready? Go now to schooloftennis.net.